Ladies and gentlemen, it is show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you in it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's the holiday season, and there's no better time to jump into the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Whether you're betting the NFL, getting in on the college football playoff matchups, or checking out the NBA's Christmas slate, FanDuel's got holiday promos and boosts that'll keep every game exciting all month long. From same-game parlays to player props and live in-game betting, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action with fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Gardner Minshew sidearm throw. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can continue to find wins with the remaining games left. So, while you're unwrapping gifts and watching wall-to-wall football, make sure you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap, shot, and score count this holiday season. Attention all sports bettors. Big news, Chiefs Kingdom. Sports betting is finally going live in Missouri on December 1st. So we've partnered with bookies.com to bring you all the best sportsbook promos and sign-up offers in one place. Head over to bookies.com/chiefconcerns. The link is in the description below to check out all the offers from the top sports books in your area and pre-register today. You can lock in those bonuses now, even before betting officially starts on December 1st. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, the New Year's Eve edition, early show edition of Chief Concerns. I know JD might be on the road already. And Teja and I are going to be going out on the road in a couple hours for New Year's Eve travel as well. So we wanted to come in and obviously wish you guys a happy New Year, but we also wanted to just come in and see you all before we all stepped away and have the last 2025 episode of Chief Concerns. We have a few things to get to before we end the show, but just wanted to make sure you guys were acknowledged on New Year's Eve on the last day of 2025. Teja, what's going on? JD, I don't know. Is JD there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's up with my camera. Hold on. Let me see what's going down. Hold on. I'll go out. I'll come back in.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
So, Tej, I know you don't usually do a weekly Wednesday show to preview the games, but
that's right.
Obviously, it's New Year's Eve, so it's a time to acknowledge the fam in the chat and as well on the Chief Concerns show. Going to be a very busy offseason for the show. Going to be fun. But yeah, we're happy to have you on our Wednesday preview show.
Good to be here. Yeah, it's last one of the year, so put your best foot forward, I guess, or put your best foot backwards, I guess. Depending on how you look at things. Yeah,
it's definitely a year to forget. Really, 2025. We got the Super Bowl, got our butts kicked in the Super Bowl, and then had this season to forget. So 2025, it's nice. It's coming to a close. I'm looking forward to 2026. Really, I am. So go to the chat quickly before JD comes back on. Digger, Michael Brennan's in here. What's up, buddy? Interesting can't lose situation KC finds themselves in. Win, KC beats the Raiders, which is always glorious. Lose to them, and the Raiders lose the first overall pick. I believe the Raiders have an 90% chance to get the first overall pick. So I don't know what that means. I think they can still lose and still they can still win and get the first pick, I believe. So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they were.
There he is. There's the man.
What's going down? What's up, fellas?
What's up? Now, actually, I mean, it depends because what's the end all be all first priority for tiebreaker in the draft? Is it strength of schedule or head to head?
Strength of schedule is the first one.
Well, then if that's the case, then if Vegas ties with Giants have the strength of schedule tiebreaker.
No, but it could be Pete Carroll's last game, so I think Pete Carroll's going to coach the heck out of these guys. So
you would think so. Otherwise, they're going to have to trade up with the Giants in about 2 months and give them like 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, we'll see. JD, how you doing, brother? I know all of us are going out of town today, so it's a reason why we're getting together early on this New Year's Eve. How are you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. I was sitting over here moving everything around, getting out of the garage. I said I might have to pick up drinking again. Daggone it. Hey, man, I'm everywhere right now. I am. So we're supposed to go down to Gatlinburg for a family getaway. Going to go see my brothers, their wives, and their kids, and whatnot. And so this is it's going to be a nice trip for us for a few days to get down. And then I got to go down and for my boy Bobby Washington, his funeral on Saturday to Orlando.
Oh, so, wow!
Trying to get everything situated. So all of that there too. So it's just like this.
A lot
moving, a lot going on, like always, man. But hey, it's a Wednesday. So
it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're Teja and I are going to Lake Anna for New Year's. A friend rented like a Airbnb, so it's gonna be like 20 of us in this giant mansion in Lake Anna, which is about like an hour and a half from Northern Virginia. So
fun.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. 20 people, good folks.
What's that?
Family, friends, just a little bit of everything? Or
just friends. Just friends.
Mostly just friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be good. How far is Gatlinburg from where you're at, JD?
About 3.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Kids 4. So.
Oh, gotcha.
You know how
a lot of bathroom breaks.
Oh, yeah. Hey, use the bathroom. All right, shoot. Hold it. Move it.
We'll be there in 2 hours.
5 more exits. Yeah. 5 more exits.
Yeah.
But so obviously last day of the 2025 and we just want to get an episode out for you guys. Very short one. We'll be short and sweet with this one. But yeah, obviously game on Sunday against the Raiders, but we'll get to that in a second. So with the New Year's, obviously there's always something called resolutions, right? And everyone's got a resolution for the next year. And after 2025 to forget, we all look ahead to 2026. Now, if the Chiefs could set one big New Year's resolution for the team heading into 2026, guys, what should it be for 2026? Teja, JD, I don't know which one of you wants to kick this off with the 2026 resolutions.
Well, I think it's pretty kind of practical advice. Just get better in a lot of different areas. From coaching standpoint, player standpoint, technique wise, scheme wise, upper management. Everybody needs to just get that much better. And so how do you do that is the question, right? You know what the problems are. You got to address the problems and the issues. And then you got to at least, create a solution. And so how do you do that? Strategically, you got to put everything out and just have truthful conversations. That's what has to happen. And I think part of the problem is that when you get away with things, you contend on what you've been working with these past few years, been getting away with it. You realize now that it doesn't work. You got to change. We used to hear this all the time. I think Al Saunders used to say it, but other coaches I've heard say it also too. Is you never just stay the same. Either you're getting better or you're getting worse. That's what it is. So what moves are we making to get better is the question. And so New Year's resolution is to get better from every aspect of this organization, top to bottom.
Tej?
So mine coincides with that a little bit. I've said it before on the show, but the official resolution for me in 2026 would be embrace change. That's my slogan for the offseason here. So you're no longer obligated to keep a carbon copy of previous year's roster to preserve some chance at a dynasty or to keep some streak alive. That died this season. Like it's a reset. Like it's not a reset. It's in like time to trade 50 players and like a whole new roster. You don't force that kind of change. You improve what needs to be improved, and you don't for things you don't. But I mean, no more holding on to the past. Like, embrace it now. Like, we are now a flawed football team that needs some house cleaning, right? I know fans will be anxious. Fans will be impatient. And with so much change coming, I think a lot of fans will become, and we're already seeing it, territorial about how they see the team being built the way they imagined it, right? Like how to fix them. And I want to see like moves L, R, and X, you know, and if they don't, beach is failing me. We're going to see a lot more. We think the struggles and the pain ends this weekend. I don't think it does. I think we're going to see more ahead. We're going to see questionable moves, but embrace change, embrace different. Don't be afraid to make some tough choices as we look to retool for about the halfway point of Mahomes' career.
I like it. And I believe I think I mentioned on the show this past week that the end of 2025 is the end of the year of the snake, which symbolism you shed. Snakes shed their skin, and that's the end of 2025 is the end of the year of the snake. So there you go. You know, you get out with the old, in with the new. So you guys kind of went with I went more specific. I always say with a specific thing in mind. But I do like what you guys say. Get better and embrace change. I think they're all kind of hand in hand with each other. And mine kind of goes in with that as well. So since Kareem Hunt rushed for 1,327 yards as a rookie in 2017, the Chiefs haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher while Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback, which I believe is the longest drought in the NFL for a team that not have a 1,000-yard running back, which is pretty telling since Mahomes and the offense kind of relied on him throughout the year since he's been the starting quarterback. And I think looking ahead to 2026, there's a prime opportunity in free agency to bring in a running back who could be that difference maker, someone who can carry the load, take pressure off Mahomes as he comes back from the ACL in 2026. And I think that's just kind of about changing the mindset and kind of the tone of the Chiefs offense to kind of have a guy back there who you can kind of get the ball to, make defenses kind of, appreciate the running game so we can actually have a play action that defenses respect. And I think my resolution is to commit to the run game and find a running back, be it whether it's a veteran guy or a rookie that they draft. But my vote would be a veteran running back to kind of rely on. So I think the year of 2026 needs to be the year of the running back in Kansas City. Time to bring back the running game. I think it's time. And also twofold. Also, find a way to get some pressure as well. So finding pressure and commit to the run, the two. I read a stat yesterday that we haven't had a 13 sack edge rusher since 2018. Do you guys want to guess who that player is? The last edge rusher who had 13 sacks in a season for us. Do you know who that was?
How many? You said 13 sack season?
Yeah, the last edge rusher to have 13 sacks.
13 sacks.
Yeah, I was just close.
13 sack season.
13 sacks.
You say close. Tamba?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No. This guy in many Chiefs fan minds they would call him a bust, and he's synonymous with one specific play in his career.
D Ford.
D Ford?
Yeah.
Should have guessed that.
Kind of excoriated him, man, right out the organization, didn't he?
Yep.
So, crazy. So those points, Marcus, that you said, okay. Were you finished what you were saying?
I'm done.
And I do agree with that. And there's a couple things I wanted to go here. One thing I wanted to send to you was there was something that was being said. I'm just like, man, this is so good. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, I'm gonna have you share it. to kind of build this picture up, right? And I have you. But with that being said, right, our running game does need to improve, no question about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you, and look, you know how I feel about PFF. I dislike it, okay, because you know how you measure what these things are if you don't quite know what the play is and what the technique and stuff is. But I'm gonna give you the grades of our tackles, okay, from this year. Tackles, we have Jalen Moore, who
this is the overall grade, JD. This is
overall
grade.
Overall grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall
okay.
grade. So Jalen Moore was top for ours, okay, for our tackles, 63.2. Okay. Rated number 70. Well, he was 63.2. You have Josh Simmons, 62.7. Next to that was Wanye Morris at 57.1. Okay, this is without minimum. This is the minimum and all of that, right? Then you had Chu Godric was 56.4. Jawan Taylor, 53.3. Then you had Issa Pole was at 51.9. These are overall grades. Okay.
Okay.
These are offensive tackles for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. So that's what we have just for that position group. Okay. Let me go guards here. And like I said before, it could, hey, you know, how you looking at it, how you slicing it. So our guards, Trey Smith, 68.5. We had King Suma graded out at 63.8. Then we have Caliendo at 55.4. Okay. So that's from the exterior to our interior positions. And our center, our buddy from the inside, okay, Creed Humphrey, 89.6 is what he graded out.
Damn.
89.6. Now, I get that you running game has to improve. I understand that you have to make sure you concentrate and emphasize the running game. But everybody that's involved in the running game has to get better, right? I'm telling you, this is when we go talk about Love, when we talk about, you know, Breece Hall and all these other guys coming in, and I'm here to tell everybody, and y'all need to understand how important this is. If the guys up front are not doing their job like it should be, you could bring in Barry Sanders, and it was hard for Barry Sanders with the type of line he had running. Now, obviously, that's Barry Sanders in itself, but Barry Sanders had to make 9 or 10 people miss. I watched him in my heyday, and I haven't really seen any backs like that. There's nobody in the league that can run like Barry Sanders. There's not. That type of runner that you're going to see, Bell Cow, that can do it all by himself, is nowhere to be found. We thought Saquon Barkley or King Henry was going to be those guys, and they have shown to do that, right? Saquon does some amazing things, but he struggled this year. Okay.
Yep.
He struggled. Same thing with King Henry. He struggled. Now he breaks out every once in a while. Shoot, we can see it. We can see his greatness and brilliance. But if you bring somebody in here of that caliber, who's top tier running back, right? They keep talking about Love and all these other guys. Doesn't even matter. If the guys up front are not going to get the job done. If we're graded down in our 50s in our tackles, low 60s in our guards, and then 89 from our center, that's not going to get the job done. And that extends out to the tight ends that's involved in the running game. Obviously, running backs that have visions, but also to scheme-wise what the coaches are calling. Okay. Does it help out also too with the wide receivers blocking in the game? Absolutely. Absolutely. Al Saunders used to tell us all the time, you will get 10 more touchdowns if the wide receivers are blocking extra, putting in extra work to get down and put you in the end zone. That's a fact. I've seen it myself. So with that being said, our emphasis on the running game has to change from everybody. on that offensive line, running backs, all of that needs to be said. That needs to be done. Okay. So I agree with you 1,000% on that point. So go ahead. What do y'all think? After hearing those grades,
pretty blown away by those grades. I don't actively look at PFF and see that. I'm not surprised by it. Maybe I am surprised by the fact that I thought Trey Smith was probably a little bit better from the guard spot, just based on contractually. Jawan Taylor doesn't surprise me. And look, he's probably gone. We saved $23 million. So
he's already on the bus, man.
Jalen Moore being a top tackle, I guess it's a good thing. But the grade wasn't the best grade, but it was still a top one. So I guess it gives me hope for the right tackle spot going forward. But I think the one thing that I thought about, and which is what I'm seeing from Michael Brennan in the chat here, hard to improve if the team isn't practicing the craft. At least one of our linemen brought that up. Never running in practice made it hard to learn how to run block as a unit. And I do think it's not only finding a running back, it's not only finding guys or the will in the trenches from our offensive line. I think it's also a mentality shift from our coaching staff as well. And I think Andy Reid's going to have to be forced to do that if Mahomes is going to come back from his ACL injury. Let's say he does start off the season in week 1. He's not going to be 100% Mahomes. He's going to be the best Mahomes he can be, but he's still going to be having, we had Dr. Chow a couple weeks ago said he'll play next year, but he won't be back to Patrick Mahomes till 2027. So next year, it's very important to have a run game, a balanced attack, so we're not putting it all on a guy who's just coming back from an ACL injury. So I think it's going to be a mentality shift from the coaching staff and the play calling as well. But so, yeah, I think it's a lot of things together with the run game, finding a guy, offensive line clicking and kind of playing better than they did this year, and also commitment to the run game from the coaching staff as well. So I think it's all that together. So, yeah, I agree with you, JD.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this now, but I would at some point, since we're specifically talking about the run game, I would like to hear just the running grades. That's their overall, right? So some of those guys you listed could have been a lot better at pass blocking to boost up their overall grade, which means their run game's even worse. Or the opposite, like their run grade was really good, but their pass grade bumped them down to the number that you said. So maybe the run game was actually better than that. But
I'll give it to you real quick.
All right. Well, yeah, let's hear it.
All righty. Here we go.
This is run blocking grades.
Run blocking grade. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Jalen Moore, 63.4.
Okay.
Josh Simmons, 48.1.
Figured.
Wanye Morris, 83.2.
So I don't think
42.8. Jawan Taylor, 43.8. Issa Pole, 51.4.
Okay.
So the only one significantly had a higher grade just in run blocking was Wanye Morris, who blew everybody out the water at 83.2.
Yeah.
And that's why I say Wanye's I've always said that Wanye has something to him, and he does a great job in the run block. He does. He can get up underneath people. And this kind of goes to go ahead, Teja. So go ahead, finish up what you were saying, brother.
No, I was just curious about that. What was Trey Smith's run blocking grade?
So Trey Smith's run blocking
what's
grade?
the $1 billion man's run blocking grade?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Trey Smith run blocking grade 63.63. King Suma 61. Mike Caliendo 64.9.
Wow.
And Creed Humphrey 90.
I mean, yeah, when you're an 89, you're not doing anything poorly, let's be honest.
No.
When you're 89, it's your overall grade. It doesn't really matter from there. I mean, Trey Smith's got to get better than that. You got to stop yelling at people and maybe look in the mirror.
Well,
he needs to have the best grade of any guard.
Absolutely.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. At both things.
Yeah. Hold himself accountable to what he's expecting out of the other guys to do. And maybe when him coming back, and what I've seen Trey do actually was he did improve coming in later on during the season until now all of a sudden he got hurt when he started figuring it out. So I think what Trey and those guys, they're very important to where this run block is going to go. I mean, his voice, him and Creed,
yes,
very important.
It's going to come down to them, I think.
Absolutely, no question about it. Coaches could do whatever as far as coaching certain things up. But for those guys, they're going to be the ones that's going to voice what needs to be done every single snap in the huddle when they're talking to guys about getting things right and wrong. We had a guy like that on our team, was Brian Waters. B. Waters immediately would get in somebody's tail if someone ran. Okay? Immediately would yell. So those, I don't mind guys barking because we know it's coming from a great place. But don't you be the one getting beat all the time, and then you come out here barking to everybody. It's like, hold on, man. You turn on the tape. What are you doing? And so,
also, it's the timing that bothers me too. It's like we've been horrendous at these things for a good portion of the year. You're going to turn and yell like a fourth string tackle and chew him out because he didn't block properly in week like 16. Like, really, dude? We've had all season and much better guys getting paid much more money with higher expectations doing just as poorly. And I didn't see you yell at anyone like that earlier in the year when the season actually still could have been saved. Yeah. And you're gonna yell now that the plate's cleaned off. You're gonna now you're talking about how many vegetables that people ate. Like, it's over, man. Like, dinner's done. You know, like it's.
Well, I say, you know,
I'm not saying don't do it because I think.
Yeah, that's still
I want it to happen all year. Like, don't just do it now and be like, I'm tired of this crap. Oh, really? Okay, I've been tired of it for a long time. Like, right. I thought you would have been there months ago, just like me, watching it.
And it could have been. And so we know seniority, right? A guy that's been in the league for a long time. Like, I could yell at this dude, but after a while, he's yelling back like, "Hey, man, I know what I'm doing wrong, right? Heck, part of the problem lining up all sides is because you lining up in the backfield. Like, I'm lining up off you. Let's help each other out in this." And so, veteran, you know, going at each other as opposed to going after a rookie is a different thing because we don't know what yelling has been done or hasn't been done. You know, it's amplified obviously because it is week 16. You did give up a safety. You know, it's like, hey, man, look, we worked on this play in practice. We have worked on this play. And I'm gonna tell you another truth here. If fans don't believe that players not hearing certain things about particular guys, right? Like Isapole and he's this, that, and oh my gosh, they've been wrong about this dude. Guys hear that. They do. They do hear it. And so sometimes when you're giving guys accolades and patting him on his back and you should have been starting and better than this. Okay, fine. This is the guy that you sit over saying should have been here. And Andy and those guys are wrong in their assessment of who this guy is, their analysis. We've been watching him in practice. We've been watching if he's been getting things wrong. This is accumulation of some of those things that's happened. This might be a product of why he hadn't been playing, why he hadn't been up there in on the 53-man roster. And players know this. Fans don't know this. We see he's 6'7", 6'8", 300-something pounds, got great feet. We're like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Now, Andy and those guys don't know how to evaluate. Look how bad they are evaluating guys. We don't know how many mental mistakes he could have had in practice.
Yeah, we just see the actors that are in the movie
by
scrolling down, but like we don't see, that it was a terrible movie. It was a catastrophe. I don't care who's in it. Mm-hmm. It just means it was a big disappointment. But yeah, no, it's definitely frustrating, but yeah, the running game doesn't start at running back. I told Marcus something similar yesterday in the car. I was like, if you think plugging in someone and we're talking about drafting, we're talking about Genty.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh man, so-and-so's the answer. Who love this? Dude, if you think throwing Genty on our team this year would have made any more of a difference in the wins-loss category, you're out of your mind.
Right.
Maybe one win difference. So when you're thinking about giving the number 8 or 9 or 10, hopefully 8 or 9 pick to a running back, just think about that. Genty wouldn't have made a difference in what happened this year. I just, I know some people will argue that, but
of course, they argue something that they don't know too much about because it doesn't. one monkey ain't gonna win the show. He's just not. It just doesn't work like that. It's a team. This is a team sport. You need the guys up front to do their job. You need all 11 to be on the same page. And so, as good as Jitney was in college, hey, look, incredible. That's great. You know, when you're going against, you know, teams and guys, Marcus, you know, who's majoring in international finance. Hey, it's all right. It's okay. He's gonna look great against a guy like that, right? You know, dude's been on walk on. He comes out. He does something heroic, and he's starting. But
yeah,
you know, you got somebody in the back over here who's making $40 million that's going to try to rip your throat out. It ain't going to be that easy against him.
Yeah,
this sucker's got muscles on top of muscles out here. Okay,
it's not even a knock on him either. It's just like,
no,
you'd have to be so frigging special to overcome some of the problems we had in the run game. Like and who's to say how much, you know, look, maybe you would have gotten 5 more carries a game than our leading rusher each game.
Yes.
Maybe you would have averaged 13 or 14 carries a game. So it's like, who's to say how much time you would have got out there? So it's like, there's a few guys that I'd say if you give them about 3, 4, 5 more carries a game than our leading rusher each game, would have maybe delivered 2 to 3 more wins. That's like maybe Bijan, because he would have broke one of those for a touchdown when Kareem Hunt got an 18-yard gain instead. Bijan probably would have taken that to the house, and that would have made a huge difference. But like, you're talking of one. You're talking about who's going to be the highest paid running back in the league in like 2 years from now. So like, yeah, great. You put the best player at his position on our team. Would he have made a positive impact that would have made a difference? Yeah. I mean, sure.
I did an evaluation the other day, Teja. Somebody sent the one he took to the house the other night, and I'm watching the blocking up front. Now, he made one guy miss, and usually as a running back, you're being asked to make one guy miss. That's your job. You got one guy that you have to make miss. The problem is, if we're getting back in the backfield, there's penetration. That's the problem. And when I watched him take off, he made the one guy miss, and he took it to the house. Everybody else had a hat on a hat. I'm like, well, there you go. He did his job, making the one guy miss. Everybody else was solid on the blocks they needed to do. That's how it works. It worked that way. Okay? Just like you drew it up. So any running back in the league will tell you you're being asked to make one guy miss. Okay? That safety or a guy right there, he's yours. He is yours.
Yeah.
In regards to Genty, you're not going against Eastern Idaho State anymore. You know.
No. Yeah. Sister Bird 4. You know, you're not doing it. So.
Yeah.
Only in practice for Genty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, because you can't tackle. Oh, he looks great. Oh, look at that. Hey, look at that.
That's true too. I was talking about playing against the Raiders in practice.
No. Taking shots at the Raiders, man. JD, you sent me that clip. You want me to play that clip?
Yeah. So this goes into another thing that we have to be truthful about as well. What you were talking about, Dr. Cho, and offensive line, because sometimes we give others a pass, and so this was being said about a different quarterback, and I think it applies to ours as well. Go ahead, brother.
His best yesterday. You could see it on the third down where he takes that inexplicable sack to Jalix Hunt. Just hit the fucking check down, buddy. The problem is he gets in these games, and I totally get it. They're not working with a lot outside, and that's not an excuse. But you got to manage the fucking game, buddy. It's a 13-0 game. It's not a fucking 45-44 game. He has to know the difference between a game where he has to put his cape on every play and a game where he has to just hit the check down in the big situations, right? And the fumble, you can't have that. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, dog? And all these situations, you look back at them and you're like, there were easy outs. So I think Bills fans know quarterback played as bad as he could have. I would put it up there with the Miami game this year. I don't think it's a Houston kind of thing because I'll give him the pass for being sacked 8 times against Houston. They just match up really well. Buffalo's real problem coming out of this game is knowing how bad they are without Dalton Kincaid. You don't believe me? Bills with Kincaid, 9-2, 30 points a game, 6.1 yards per play. Bills without Kincaid, 2-3, 23 points a game, 5.4 yards per play. That's crazy. He's their number one pass catcher.
So obviously this is, in context with Josh Allen. But I'm like, it's hard to ask a superhero not to wear his cape. If Superman's used to going and saving the planet, sometimes we ask him, just go get the kitty out of the tree. Check it down. We got other superheroes out here. We got the whole Justice League. And so sometimes we're asking the other guys, hey man, let Batman or Flash or Green Lantern and let them do their work. Let them do what they're supposed to do. You get the ball out of your hands. You don't have to put your cape on every time. And I say this to Pat, because now, because of the injury, he has to watch himself. He has to take the check down. And I think there wasn't enough of that this past year, because we were looking for the whole thing where we could have just throw the swing route, get it to Kareem Hunt. Brashard Smith, hey, throw it to him. Help yourself out. Take the little 3 or 5 yard hit and then go, right? Take some of that off of you. And so that's why I wanted to play that, because I'm just like, we got our own superhero here. We got our own Superman. And so I get wearing the cape all the time. And I said this past year, I said, man, Pat's getting hit way too many times than he needs to. I get extended plays. He's great at doing those things. Superman's great at going against all the top-notch guys and, doomsdays and knocking these guys out. But sometimes, man, defer it over here to Aquaman to do his work, right? Yeah, you ain't gotta go out there to the ocean to do all these things, right? To save it. Yeah, Aquaman can do those. Okay? Use your supporting cast and let them figure it out.
I think Mahomes might need to go back and watch some Alex Smith film.
Yeah.
Because that's something Alex Smith was really good at. And sometimes at the detriment, he was called a glorified game manager all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just need to manage the game. Not every game is a 13 strikeout game for a pitcher.
Right.
Sometimes you've got to grind it out, get the ground outs, get the fly outs,
Mm-hmm.
get the outs, just get through the innings. That's all it's going to matter at the end. So that sometimes you just got to go. Alex Smith went to the right choice. And sometimes there were long drives that had to be extremely efficient for us to score. Other times you're going to take your shot and get it. So you got to pick and choose and not get impatient.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he was through that.
There was a Superman cape with Alex Smith, right? He was just going to make the right play, the game management, the checkdowns. Whereas Mahomes, he can put the cape on if he wants to, but it's the implementation of checking down, and then when you need to do it, then you put on the cape, then you go to the phone booth and change into your outfit. Yeah, and that's also we talk about Noah Gray not being utilized this year, Tanya not being utilized. I mean, in years past, we saw Noah Gray being utilized a little bit more because we kind of went away from the deep shot. We know we wanted it, but as far as the mentality going into the season, that was all they talked about, was the deep shot was back again. And then this year, we don't see Noah Gray getting many touches. You don't see the usage of the 13 personnel as much as usual. So yeah, it was a different mindset. They kind of shifted back into that deep ball mindset, which is why holding on to the ball for so long and all that.
It is an absolute failure to not take advantage.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say to not take advantage of 13 personnel. When you have guys, capable guys that can catch the football. Robert Tiny can catch the ball. Jared Wiley can catch the football. Noah Gray can catch the ball. We know Travis Kelce can do the exact same thing. When I watch some of these plays, and I've seen a ton of tight ends, like the old shit screen, okay, where tight end on the backside just blocks for a little second. You run that backside corner off, tight end's open on the backside. I'm like, we could do that all day. We can do it all day where it looks like the tight end's coming out to go block, okay, fake block, and then run a corner route. There's a whole lot of different things variation you could use with this offense. We just didn't do it. I mean, we went away from it completely. Like I said, we didn't even see a shovel pass this year. I can't remember one. If we did, we ran it early, and then it was all like, well, I guess we're going to scrap this because we just don't have it anymore. So, man, that's what I'm talking about, getting better. And like Teja was saying, like, talking to everybody, how do you do it? That goes from the top to the bottom. Patrick Mahomes, offensive line, running backs, same thing, defensive side of the football, right? D-line, linebackers, secondary, okay? And also, too, we can't put, let's say, a smaller Justice League character on a major guy, right? Like, we can't put our safeties on your fast slot. Can't do it. Gonna get killed out there. And we watched it. We watched it. So
yeah, the Wonder Twins are taking out the dark side. That's for sure.
No, yeah, it should turn into water and an animal. That ain't gonna happen.
Going back to Alex Smith for a second, because we forget, and these stats seem pedestrian when you compare them to like the next 5 years of the Mahomes, the prime of the Mahomes Tyreek era. But his last year, he had 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. If Mahomes did that this year and we made the playoffs, he would have been an MVP candidate. So there's something to be said for him really going back and watching some Alex Smith tape, because margin of error, 104 QB rating. It's probably, those stats are probably better than Mahomes' last like 3 or 4 seasons. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Jeremy asked this question right here. Go ahead. JD, what do you think we struggle the most as far as developing players? Where needs the most improvement? I think the struggle is maybe guys not necessarily understanding their role. I think also, too, we got to think about how we're conveying the information to the guys that they understand exactly what it is that we're trying to do. And if somebody said a player came out and say, we don't practice this enough, well, why is that? I think that is something that is, I mean, as bad as a philosophy not to practice running the game is the problem. And so, yeah, you're passing the ball most of the time, but your run game is part of your foundation. You have to have that. That has to be something that you work on every single day, technique-wise. And I'm talking about working with linemen, your fits in the run game, working with your tight ends in the run game, your fits. You got to do inside drill. You got to do 9-on-7. I don't know if these guys are doing that anymore. When I was up there at the camp, I was just watching some of the things that they were doing. And I get also, too, you're limited to what you can practice, okay, putting pads on. But the moment that you have those, those groups, you got to take advantage of it. Sometimes you just got to run full speed and say, hey, man, this is a live drill right now, okay? Stay up as much as possible, take care of guys, but we got to get our work done. And so that has to be emphasized every single day. And I get going out there in the shells and you running around and you look good. And sometimes what you can do is you can get too comfortable fitting up with guys and like, yeah, that's going to work in the game. But if you're not practicing at full speed, you will play like you practice. And what we've seen is the guys are playing like they do practice. You can't, there's no way you could come out of that. And I think that part of the practice is going this way. Seriously. So, and what I've seen also too, I've seen coaches, if a guy doesn't get something down, let's just move on. Let's go to the next play. We ain't got time to stay on this. We got to move on to the next play. Well, Miles, sometimes you might have to say, let's repeat this. Come back. Let's repeat it. We can get this work later. But now, shoot, the work is now. You can't do it later. We got to get this down now. If a young guy here, he doesn't understand it, and you want him to get his work done just by film, part of learning is doing it the exact way that you're expecting it to get done. Sometimes coaches can move on from that. And that's a failure to do it the right way. So.
Good points there. All right, so I know we're going to do a shorter show, but we'll get out of here soon. So, final topic. Obviously, we got the season finale on Sunday. It's the Raiders. Last game of the season. The Chiefs could be the 8th pick. Right now, we are currently the 9th pick. We could be the 8th pick if we lose this game and other things happen. And I think the worst case, we could be the 12th pick. Raiders are kind of locked in the 1 pick, so it's interesting with them. But they also have a whole deal with their situation with Pete Carroll. Might be his last game. I've seen reports that he'd probably be fired after the season's over, which the Raiders are just an utter disaster. But a lot of implications as far as draft pick goes. But let's talk about this last game in itself. Season finale of 2025. If the coaching staff had the freedom to unleash any player or strategy, what do you hope and who do you hope kind of gets utilized more as we head into this last game of the year? It's the final look at these guys. And I know everyone's talking about the youth movement. We want to see these young guys. We heard Boss was going to get more playing time last week. Didn't get a lot of playing time. He got some playing time. Royals started, but only played 5 snaps, only ran 1 route. But in this final game of the season, who is the player that you hope we get a little bit more look-see at in this final game of the year?
I mean, say Bashard Smith, Jada Royals, let them see the field a little bit. Let them see the field a little bit. Young guys. That would be mine. So that's pretty much it offensively.
Tej?
I'll go Brashard Smith. I just think there's so much chatter about our running back situation, who we're going to get this offseason. Will we draft Love? Will we sign Hall? Will we sign another running back and then like a lower tier and draft a mid-round guy to pair with them? We don't even know what we have with the running back we have right now, who we drafted last offseason. So I think we need to see what we have in him and at least see if we have our 2026 pass catching running back.
100%. I think I'm with you guys. It's either Royals or Brashard Smith. I think the fact that Royals started last game and he only played 5 times and only ran 1 route. He did. I mean, I saw some. I forgot who it was, but one of the Chiefs content creators posted on Twitter some of Jalen Royals' blocks down the field. Good blocker, so that's a good component already. You know, we talk about Juju's being a free agent. Juju, good blocker. They might not bring him back. Royals is only 1 of 3 receivers under contract for next year, so the fact that he can block, hey, I love that. I want to see him run some more routes other than 1, and hopefully he gets more reps and more routes this coming game. But Brashard Smith's the end-all, be-all for me, right? We talk about needing a running back. We don't even know what we have with this guy. He was a top 10 or top 15 running back going into last year's draft. We got him in the 7th round, but he was still, by many experts, he was a top 10, a top 15 running back. And now many Chief fans want us to complete overhaul, get rid of him too, and go with a new running back room altogether. But I do want to see, because it's we either have a guy who can be a receiving back, like Teja said. He can be a piece of the puzzle, or he could be a true difference maker as a pass catching running back. Like, and obviously we talked about it before. He needs to get better at the pass blocking. If he's going to be the Jet McKinnon on the 3rd downs, we need to see him become a more of a 3rd down back who can pass block from back there. We don't really see that. Whenever he's in there, he's pretty much running routes or doing jet motions. So we'd actually ever see him do pass blocking. Maybe that speaks to what they already know about his pass blocking. But I do want to see him either get more targets this week or at least get 6 to 8 carries this week. I want to see him touch the balls from a carry standpoint, because we know he's an elite receiver. He was a receiver, but I want to see him run between the tackles. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe they go under center and they hand off the ball to him. I don't know. I just want to see him just touch the ball a lot more. But, yeah, Royals and Brashard Smith are the 2 I really want to see. I think Royals, honestly, he may have a very pivotal role in the offense next year. He's the number 3 receiver already, just going without any signings in free agency. He's a number 3 receiver naturally between Rice, Worthy, and him, because he's the 3rd receiver, only the last of the 3 receivers on the depth chart going into next year. So I I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other guy was Bossa. That was my other one. Just because linebackers, one of those positions that might look very different in the next year or two. I mean, we have Chanel's a free agent. We can get out of Tranquil's contract this year and save $6 million. The following season, we can get out of Bolton's contract and save $15 million. So, you know, it'd be nice to know what you have in the guy you just drafted.
Yeah, I mean, be good.
Not to say we'll figure it. We won't figure it all out in one game, but you know, it's like a first date. Let's at least have the first date with Bossa. You know what I mean?
He could be another. He could be another one of those guys that, you know, the reason he's not playing is because of maybe of some, you know, unforeseen thing that we didn't know.
Sure.
So I guess you say, "Oh, screw it then. Let him screw up all in this game right here, right?"
Yeah, because
he's gonna screw up and he's gonna learn. Let it be this one.
It's that, and like sometimes JD and I know you've seen this too. Sometimes guys are just live gamers. They don't look as good in practice, but you put them out there and they just kind of like in the game when they're, you know, their backs are against the wall. They put it together there. You know, they look better when the game's played and not necessarily in practice. I know it's not ideal and it's not common, but it does happen, right? So I mean, maybe this is the game to see if, like, oh man, okay, like the kick and play. All right, let's just get his ass in shape and in gear in the off season, and we know he's got the tools in the NFL.
And I know also too, a guy that's dangerous is somebody who doesn't always play by the rules fundamentally. You know, like a guy you don't expect to be there. So you know, when we're drawing everything up offensively, and you're like, this guy, he ain't supposed to be there defensively. He's wrong, but he's making the tackle because he just played football.
Yeah,
undisciplined player. He's just like, geez, if he's playing like he's supposed to play, you know, responsible football, the guy you can't account for is the guy who's just out there. You don't know what he's doing. He just knows how to play ball. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also could potentially be Kelsey's last game of the year as well. So if it is his last game of the year, I hope he scores a touchdown, or last game of his career. I hope he doesn't score a touchdown or does something remarkable in that game. But I think JD and I agree that this is not going to be his last year. That's our guess. And maybe JD, I don't know if you have a behind the scenes look, because I mean you're best friends with a guy who just interviewed Kelsey last year. Maybe we got a real behind the scenes view of that whole conversation that was on TV.
He did. He did.
Yeah, I hope Kelsey sticks around.
Yeah, because you have all these people.
I hope it's for a bargain, but you know, that's just me being greedy and counting dollars. Yeah, man, I don't want to pay Kelsey like it's 2017. I want to pay 2025 version of Kelsey, which is good. It's good, but it's not top 3 tight end anymore. I mean, we can't pay him 20.
Well,
he is top 3 tight end.
Numbers do say he's top 3 tight end.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Which number? I mean, you forget about Trey McBride off the bat. Like that's just like I think he doubled his numbers.
Kelsey, I'm looking at, what is this? I think they have a number 3 behind McBride and Kyle Pitts.
One, two, 3, 4, 5. Sixth in receptions. 1, 2, third in receiving yards.
He's a top 3 tight end, man. Top 5 tight end.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, okay, he's like 1, 2. He's like 12th in touchdowns.
Okay, you mentioned he's a top 3 tight end in one of the statistics there. So I mean, he's still
one of them.
Okay, but he's still a top 3, top 5 tight end. But I do say with the top of the contract extension and all that stuff, I do think if Kelsey does come back for one more year, it's not about the money anymore. I think he wants to get the best possible team possible. So I do think he's not going to break the bank on the team. So I do think that is.
I would think that. That makes sense, and that would be very nice. Is what I was trying to say.
Well, I would say this. I feel like the man needs to be compensated. If it's going to be your last year, we're going to give you a nice little severance pay for all the things that you've done, right? So I'm not saying. I'm just saying, man. Look,
that's like trying to pay Bezos handsomely for showing up to like a dinner party, man. He's got that money.
Bezos
he doesn't need your little money.
Bezos is not getting his hands dirty. He ain't doing anything in Amazon that warrants him getting paid more money than that. Travis Kelce is out there putting his body on the line and saying, look, I'm healthy this year. I know I'm going out with a bang. This is going to be it for me. Okay. And I'm just saying, like, look, just let's be fair to one another. And then he might be like, hey, you know what? I'll play for $8 million or $10 a year. Sure. Why not? I'll give you all that. I'm just saying, like, I appreciate it, but we also want to be fair to you. And I think we should be. So
yeah.
Let's fudge on other guys.
The problem is we're cash strapped. So like it might be like hey man, this is what we got.
Well, I'm gonna come to the podium. Well, I've been forced out by the Chiefs. Thank you so much for this.
Go to the Raiders then, man. They have a lot of money to spend. I hear the Raiders have a lot of money to spend this offseason. Have at it.
I think he would retire if there was a contractual thing.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Gronk was saying he should play for a contender next year.
What? The guy, the same guy who followed his quarterback to Tampa is saying that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but hey, that's exactly why he's saying that, though. He thinks going to another team gives him the best chance, just like it gave him the best chance of winning.
Right. No, but he retired thinking his quarterback retired. He was loyal to one guy. I mean, Kelsey would be loyal to his guy in Mahomes. So if he comes back to play with Mahomes, I mean, Gronk's saying that's hilarious, actually, because he was loyal to one guy, not a franchise.
Right. He wasn't going to Tampa unless Tom was there.
No.
Number two, the contender is the Chiefs. I mean, let's just be honest here. We get everything in order like it should be. The contender should be the Chiefs.
Yeah,
right. Like, why go anywhere else? For what? Shoot, you've
and Mahomes rehab though,
huh?
And Mahomes recovery though. So it's something that's not in the control of like our scouting or our GM and our management. Like Mahomes' rehab and his recovery is just out of everyone's hands. So like. You know, if he hears that Mahomes might come back mid-season, maybe he's worried about that affecting his last year in the NFL. He doesn't want Oladokin throwing him balls every game for 6 games. I don't know. You know, maybe he's worried about that kind of thing. You never know.
But that's why I say it also, too. I think it's, probably it's contingent upon also, hey, who are your guys getting in here? What are y'all going for? And I would think he would have a say in some of the things, at least voice his opinion on what's wrong. I don't know if I'm Andy Reid, I'll be asking those guys, the main guys. If I'm Andy Reid, I'm asking Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, the leaders on the team. That's usually how it works. What do you think? Where do we fail as coaches that we're not hearing from the locker room? So it's important to listen to your vets to know where your shortcomings are, where your blind spots may be. And so that's part of the problem, man, because even if you're communicating with those guys might not, say what they want to say. That's why when you talk about how bad the stadium is, it's anonymous. They don't tell you who the guy that gave you the bad grade.
Yeah.
Don't want that. You might find yourself on, 70 highway. If they find out who said this, oh, okay. Clark didn't want to have a conversation with you. So,
yeah, and I do think we talked about it last week. If Mahomes' rehab is, not to say it's not going well, but if it's going to be here to be longer than the start of the season, we'll probably have a decent backup in. We'll have a
Absolutely.
Winston, a Brissett, someone who can be a quarterback for a month or and a half, or Russell Wilson type.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you got to think that. You got to go in knowing things may not go well with Pat. If there's a setback, bring a dude in that you know can manage what he needs to manage. Okay, and then everybody else around you just needs to rally with that. And we just took the Denver Broncos, who needed the number 1 seed, with Aladukin, and took him to task.
Yeah.
And everybody knew what the assignment was.
And play disciplined football. Only
That's another position that you may have to spend more than you have spent in previous years on, though, right?
Who's that? Oh, you talking about quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah. You might have to do that. So, again, we're cash strapped. That's the point I was making earlier. We might only have a certain amount of money allocated to certain things.
I get it. Hey, man, you got a championship here. You can learn from Patrick Mahomes. Why wouldn't you want to come here? If you Jacoby,
let me guess, Marcus. You're looking at Russell Wilson's contract this year. How much he made, aren't you?
I'm looking up Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is
close.
I don't know if they have an out in his deal, but it was a 2-year, $8 million contract. That was Jameis Winston when he signed this past offseason. So I'm sure they have an out in that.
Winston, I'll tell you right now if they do.
But four per year. I mean, hey, Jameis Winston at 4 years or at $4 million, I'm down.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so yeah, $4 million for Jameis Winston. I'd love that. And Russell Wilson's not making a lot either, so I'd love that too.
Yep. We knock on Cam's door, see what he says.
Yeah, I'll take all the other guys I said before Cam.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's about $4 million more than Minshew was making though. So
yeah, I mean, hey,
$4 million is $4 million.
It's necessary at this point.
No, I completely agree. I'm just saying, it's just gonna, again, what's compounding to make a very interesting offseason of decisions and choices.
We could make it work. They know how to kick the can down the road if they need to on a few guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll bring the money will come up.
Our future cap's very healthy, so that's a good thing. I mean, I know we're over the cap by a lot, but that's easily corrected by 3 moves. So our future cap's really healthy, and that's a good thing. That's what most teams are always worried about. So,
yep. 2026 should be fun. All right, guys. Well, that does it for our final episode of 2025. We hope everyone and their family has an enjoyable New Year's Eve. And 2025 was a blast of a year with all you guys. We've seen this channel grow, really special on the show for all of us. And 2026 is going to be better. It's going to be a different look, and our conversation is going to be a little bit different in the past, but 2026 is going to be fun, and we are excited to welcome in the 2026 year with you guys. And we love you guys, and we'll be back Friday for JD's Keys to Victories, first of the 2026 year, so it's going to be a special one. But yeah, 2025 was great, and we look forward to doing more and better in 2026. JD, Tej, what do you guys have to say?
No, I was going to read something off to us. My guy sent this to me earlier, so I think it's kind of just fitting for going into the new year. And it says, "Teach us to realize the brevity of life, so that we may grow in wisdom." So it's easy to push aside the knowledge that life is short. That is until we hear of a loved one who passes. When we really come to the value of our life, it becomes less important to have additional time and more important to have quality time. We grow in wisdom with our choices of how we spend our time. Let's stay sensitive to how we spend our time, where we spend our time, and with whom we spend our time. So enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, your loved ones, especially at the end of this year, but going into this year, knowing of doing a good job of loving each other. And so for everybody here from Chiefs Concerns, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Y'all be safe tonight. Love each other the way you're supposed to. Amen. Appreciate you, brothers. Marcus, Tej. Love you guys, man. Y'all be careful tonight too, bro. All right.
Too, man. Love you, man.
Absolutely.
Teja, any final words before we get out of here?
I don't want to say anything after JD said that.
So tough to follow that.
You can't stop that. No, have a great night, and Pray for the highest pick possible.
Yeah. Couple comments you guys shout out before we get out of here. Cafe Nervosa 2605. Happy New Year to the Chief Concerns team. Watching y'all feels like hanging with lifelong Chief fans. Intelligent takes, humility and defeat, accountability, win or lose, and a passion for the game. Oh, it's nice. New name for the channel. Never seen that name before. We appreciate the love there.
Appreciate
That's
it.
great. It's nice.
And JDub8419, last contribution of 2025 there. Appreciate the contribution, buddy. Practice how you play. Appreciate you, JDub. Appreciate all the love you give us at every episode.
So
yeah, guys. But all right. So again, we hope everybody enjoys their New Year's tonight. We hope everybody has a nice close to 2025, and it's going to be a great 2026. So we love y'all, and I hope everyone spends their New Year's with be it loved ones, with yourself, whatever it is. I hope you guys have a good time welcoming in this new year. A new year, new you, a new chance of a lot of things. So love y'all, and we will see you guys next year.
Later on.
Happy New Year, guys. Love y'all. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.